What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and this is Criminal Minds, Season 12, Episode 20, Unforgettable. Let's get this shit over with. So, for some reason, once again, the show assumes that we, as the audience, actually like Stephen Walker as the new member of the team. So far, I have yet to encounter anybody that actually likes him. I've talked about this before, but he seems like a lifeless, emotionless robot, because every time he just talks like this the entire time and doesn't inflect his words at all. And so, I don't like him on the team. I don't like him as a character. I think they've done a very piss poor job of trying to bring him into the team. And it's almost like they get that there's going to be some flack on the new character. But instead of actually making him a good character, making him enjoyable to watch, they just decide, you know what? Let's just try to make people care about him in whatever way possible. So they have Garcia constantly telling him how soothing and calming his voice is and how he's so awesome. And then they have this episode where it's all about him, pretty much. One of his friends ends up in the hospital, and yeah. So this entire story, completely bullcrap. And frankly, I'm just going to talk about the two things that didn't work. One, first of all, people in the hospital in the show are now stupid for some reason. If a guy gets administered, you're supposed to kind of do a checkup. If you don't really know what happened, he has the symptoms of a heart attack, but he hasn't had these symptoms before. Something's up. Let's do a quick checkup. Oh, look, there's a hole where an injection site was made on his back. Maybe we should look into that. But no, 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 no. No, he just gets put in, and he just had a heart attack. That's all it was. And it takes the genius Stephen Walker to come in and think something's wrong with this and then check him and make... I mean, come on. Once again, just trying to make your new character look like such a badass. Oh, everybody else in the hospital didn't notice it, but he did. Even though it's about as big as this. Seriously? And then there are two other people who apparently died from the same thing. Nobody did an autopsy to make sure, hey, they died of a heart attack, and maybe they haven't had heart attack symptoms before. Maybe we should do a quick look over. Oh, what's this injection site? So that was stupid. And then at the end, they try to do this thing where the guy is dying and his kid, he hasn't seen his kid in forever because he's had a falling out with his wife and his son. And so they go to get his kid. And not only do they try to make it as emotional as what's going on with Spencer, because like the same music that's playing when Spencer's with his mom and she's like upset about not getting to hug him and getting to see him for the first time in forever, they don't even switch. They just keep the same sad music when they go to the son going to see his dad. I'm like, no, you did not earn this emotional moment with me. I do not care about these people. The son is kind of a dick, so why do I care? But beyond that, you go to he wants to see his son, the guy that's dying, Walker's friend. And so he's like, I just want to see my son again, but it's too late. And Walker's like, nah, I got a jet. And so calls up Torres and JJ and tells them to go get his son. So they get there, and they're like, we're with the FBI. We know your father. And he's just like, look, if it's anything to do with my father, I don't want to see him. And then they say, Stephen Walker sent us to get you. And at that point, he's like, oh, okay, I'll go. And all I could think was, really? That's what it takes to get him to go see his dad after all of these years? Stephen Walker? See, your dad is on his deathbed. He's about to die because of radiation poisoning. He got killed by somebody who is, been killing all these other people to try to kill her husband. Oh. Oh, no, no, no. That's not enough of a reason. Oh, Stephen Walker says, oh, okay, yeah, I'll go because of that. Are you serious? Like, I expected him to say, look, your dad's dying, and this might be your last chance to see him, and talk him into seeing him because of that. But they just say, Stephen Walker sent us to get you, and he's just like, oh, okay, I'll go. I'm just like, are you kidding me? This has got to be the stupidest thing in the world. Like, oh my gosh. I actually laughed. It was really, really funny that that's what it took. Because I know if I was estranged from my father and somebody came to get us, it wouldn't be the fact that he's dying that would make me go see him. No, it would be the fact that one of his best friends is the one that sent these people to come get me. Stupid. So, yeah, I mean, aside from that, there are so many other things I could talk about with the story. How boring it was, how flat some of the acting was. But, I mean, it's such a stupid story in general, I don't know why I should even focus on it, because it doesn't have anything to do with anything. Um, so I'm going to talk about the Spencer stuff mostly because that's what was interesting. We do see in this episode, first of all, they're trying to figure out what to do now that they figured out that Mr. Scratch was not in the room. You know, he apparently has an accomplice of some sort, and so we get to the prison where the lawyer is talking to Spencer and telling him that apparently now they've pushed the case date back even more, or the court date, because it's taken so long to get a lot of these witnesses and evidence and all that stuff over to the States. So that's one of the kind of punishments that they're going to have to deal with because they got it moved from Mexico to U.S. So he's having to deal with that, but then all of a sudden there's a moment where a guard comes and gets him in his room, and his mother's there. And apparently the lawyer set this up for some reason. I'm curious to see why she set this up because it seems kind of out of nowhere, and at the same time it feels like it's almost kind of hurting Spencer in a way because he didn't want his mom to know about all this, but even though he does get to see his mom and that's great for him, at the same time she's finding out that he's in prison, and I don't think he wanted that. So I don't know. I'd be curious to see why this was set up. If it had anything to do with the lawyer, or maybe if it was Mr. Scratch kind of toying with him by what happened at the end. But we do get a lot of emotional moments between Spencer and his mom, and I mean, like I said, they tried to cash in on this. Oh, it's an emotional moment. Let's flip over and do the same emotional stuff with the son going to see his dad. But to be honest, I mean, it was nowhere near. And not just because I don't like Walker and I don't like the story they were telling with the case. But just Spencer and his mom are so. It's such a tragic story. The two of them, both of them, they're such tragic characters that it really does hurt to have to see this. To have to see what they're going through now, see what Spencer's going through with his mom, and with the just everything going on. It really, really does suck, and it made me tear up a little bit. I'm like, dang, this sucks. um, so yeah, I mean, very, very emotional, very well done scene there, and just all overall, I mean, this entire setup, getting to see his mom, getting to talk to her for the first time in quite a while, it really was emotional, and I hate the fact that it was so choppy because it was like we're there, we're with them talking, and then we have to go back to the boring case, and I'm just like, no, stop, go back, I want to see more with that. But ultimately, it does lead to the final scene, which is kind of interesting. And her caretaker walks in, and as soon as she walked in, I'm thinking, okay, so this is going to be Mr. Scratch's assistant, right? Because she looks the same, like, even though it was blurry, she looks similar to the blurry figure that was standing in front of Spencer. And then all of a sudden, Spencer has a flashback, and I had totally forgotten this, but there was a moment where I can't really remember what it was about now. And honestly, I'll probably have to go back to that episode and rewatch it to kind of remember who this girl was, because I kind of remember that, she was convincing her dad to kill for her, and she was very manipulative, and I don't remember. I think she wasn't actually the bad guy in that one. Like, there were some other bad guys involved, but she was not exactly a good guy. But ultimately, she had her dad kill for her, and because she was very manipulative in how she handled everything. So seeing that she's back, seeing that she is now, obviously she's got the ID because she is working for Scratch and has a completely new identity. I'm definitely interested to see where this is going to go from here, but I mean, I find it very shocking and also kind of fun that they decided to bring somebody back from past episode, because we don't normally see that with the show. Mr. Scratch is one of the very few that they had a previous appearance and then they brought them back. Like, oh yeah, remember this? Although, to be fair, I remembered Mr. Scratch because it felt like they were kind of setting up that, oh yeah, he's coming back. So yeah, all in all, I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with this. I'm looking forward to seeing how this girl's going to play in to the rest of the season, and of course, knowing that she's Spencer's mom's new caretaker, it's kind of concerning. But I believe the next two episodes are going to be the last two episodes. So obviously, last night's episode was the penultimate episode for this season. So I'm looking forward to that one. Hopefully, now that it's kind of revealed who Mr. Scratch's assistant is, hopefully now we'll finally start to get into, okay, No more bullcrap cases. No more Stephen Walker's stupid drama and monotone. Now we're all focused on Mr. Scratch, and that's it. So, looking forward to see what they've got in store. Hopefully it'll be a lot better than this episode because, yeah, it was really, really awful. But anyway, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What did you like and dislike about this episode? Let me know. We can talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe to Future Criminal Minds, and I'll see you at the next one. Peace out.